Hi there, folks. Welcome to our Vegas Nation Stadium Show, where we provide you inside analysis and up-to-date information on what's happening with the NFL Stadium set to open here in 2020. I'm Ed Graney, sports columnist of the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I'm pleased to be joined today by my RJ colleagues, Rick Vellota and Mick Akers. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing great.
Good. Mick, how are you?
Great.
Welcome into the Vegas Nation Stadium Show. Before we get going, though, Rick, you and Cassie Soto, our very own Cassie Soto, spent some time out at the stadium site walking it, and you came back with a report on that. So before we get to specific questions, let's go to Cassie's report and see what was happening out at the stadium.
Hey guys, hope you are staying warm inside the studio. A little chilly out here on the stadium, but I don't mind. I love getting down here. Here's a look at some of the latest updates from the Las Vegas Stadium.
Any sort of major construction project, all the subcontractors are required at the end of the job to produce so-called as-built plans. They're the plans that were developed by the architect and the engineers, and then there's how it was actually built. And so when the architects and engineers are working with this, of course, there are no conflicts, right? Everything's a blank sheet. It can be exactly as you want it. But in the real world, there are always conflicts. So they have to produce as-built drawings showing how they actually built it.
All right, where's the torch going?
Right back there.
Wow.
That opening there is where the torch will come up. Be 85 feet from base to the tip. If you look at the stadium from above, it's kind of a donut, solid roof, and then the ETFE roof, the lightweight polymer roof, is in the center of the donut. And so this forms the framing for the built-up roof, the solid roof.
That'll do it for me today. Hopefully we'll be back out here in about a month or so getting you the latest updates and the installation of the roof trusses that are going to hold this entire building together. For the Las Vegas Review-Journal, I'm Cassie Soto.
Awesome stuff, Cassie. Great job. Rick, let's start with you. I don't know where you were in the blizzard of 2019 in Summerlin the other night, but we know with stadium and weather things can get dicey in terms of construction. A couple years ago, the rains in Los Angeles postponed this to 2020 along with the Raiders Stadium opening Kroenke Stadium. So tell us, has there been any delay in terms of the rain slash snow slash sleet here the other night? Do they expect any delays, or are they still on time?
They're still on time, and one of the things that was kind of important about having so much rain down there is the fact that they were able to test some of the storm drainage systems at the stadium, and they worked perfectly well, right? So when we were on site today, there were a few puddles, and there was actually some ice on some of the concourses, but as far as shutting things down or delaying things, not a problem whatsoever.
When you were out there, how was the ground? Anything on the shoes when you came back?
Yeah,
mud out there?
There was a little bit of mud here and there, but it wasn't too bad. And for the most part, we were up on the concrete area on the stadium, the high parts of the stadium, the section 300, section 200 areas. So we were high and dry, so to speak.
Mick, how are you today?
Great.
Great to have you. So you recently wrote a piece for the paper about a project near the stadium, a road project that deals, I think, with Interstate 15 in Tropicana, $200 million project that won't be completed until 2024. And I think a lot of people, when they think of this stadium, believe it's compacted in that how will traffic get in and out, what's happening with the 15. So first of all, tell us about that piece in terms of that road project. Why is it taking so long, and will it impact things in and around game day?
Well, sure, you got the two main exits from the 15. You got Russell Road and you got Tropicana. So this one's Tropicana. They're going to redo the whole interchange there. Like I said, $200 million project. They were going to have a HOV lane go off onto Hacienda, but now they have alternate plans for Hacienda now. So obviously this is going to have an impact. It's not going to open until about 2024, groundbreaking
Right.
2021, so a year into the stadium. So obviously they're trying to downplay and say, hey, we're not going to do construction on the weekends, so game days are usually weekends, except for some Monday night games. So they're trying to downplay the impact of it, but just looking at it, it's one of the two main gateways in there, so it's gonna have an issue.
Are they widening 15? Or no?
No widening plans. It's just they're going to add another HOV drop-down lane.
Okay.
They're moving it to Harmon now. Both of them. They were going to do north-south one, like I said, Hacienda one, Harmon. Now both Harmon. So no widening or anything like that. It's just that the interchange is from the 60s, so they have to, it's just been there for so long, and the traffic influx and all that there. And then you got T-Mobile over there as well.
Right.
So you got double whammy right there. So they're going to have widen it, making a diamond interchange, so it's going to make it a little bit more accessible.
And you're doing a great job in reporting all this. You've also reported chances are bleak on the planned extension of the monorail being done by 2020. Why so?
Well, it's going to have an 18-month construction time frame on that. So if they started today, they might finish. But obviously, they're still going over the construction permits with the county, and that's going to take a little bit more time. And they're still securing the funding as well. They're looking to get $110 million, which is going to go towards that, and then also a planned stop at the MSG Spear Sands area.
Rick, you've reported, we're very excited that there were rumors about concrete and steel. I know you're a concrete and steel guy. You've been one since this plan started. You get very excited when they add workers and they bring in more concrete. What were the rumors about there was bad concrete and bad steel? I know our friend Tommy in the hard hat probably was first to say that wasn't true, but how these rumors started, and was there any veracity to them?
Well, nobody seems to know where the rumors
what do you get from bad concrete and bad steel? I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out what this means.
Well, I guess what they felt was that maybe there were some substandard materials that were being used or something of that nature. Having walked the site today, I can assure everybody that the concrete's in great shape. It looked fantastic.
The fact you know that, I love it. I love the fact you know about concrete.
And the steel,
the steel looks
unbelievable.
Good. It's a strong steel.
So, but actually one of the interesting things about the steel is that because of these extreme temperatures, I did not realize how much expansion and contraction there is. Don Webb was telling us a little bit today about how they some of these long pieces of steel that they have can actually change length with by a
just
by
throughout
feet.
The summer over years.
Exactly,
of the heat
exactly.
Over years?
Just because of the fact that of course in the cold it's going to be contracted, but in the summer months it's going to expand.
Right.
So they have to have exactly the right temperature for some of the installations of some of these pieces that are going to be going in that will be supporting the stadium roof. So that's going to be a very key part of the next process.
So at this point, the steel is okay, and we're not going to slip through the concrete.
Right.
We're not going to be walking to the
exactly.
press conference and drop down 4 floors.
And again, you're right. Tommy White tried to put an end to those rumors right away.
I can only imagine his response on this.
Exactly. So it's clear that there are some people who are misinformed about this. But the project is moving on schedule, on budget still.
You know, I'm obsessed with 2 things nowadays. Where does Bryce Harper sign, and what are the naming rights of the Las Vegas Stadium?
Right.
I'm a huge naming rights guy, and I don't even know why, but I'm just a huge naming rights guy. And people thought it made sense that Southwest Airlines would be the leader in the clubhouse here, given its hub at the airport. You could fly right in. Southwest Airlines would be on the stadium, but you're saying that's probably not going to happen. So where are they on naming rights, and specifically with Southwest?
Well, as far as Southwest is concerned, my colleague here, Mick, actually spoke with Gary Kelly, the CEO of Southwest, when he was here recently, and he pretty much put an end to the conversation about naming rights coming from Southwest. They have said, for the most part, that that's something that they just don't do. They can use their marketing and advertising budget more effectively. And of course, they're a sponsor of the NFL, so you're seeing their ads on the NFL broadcasts all the time. Putting a name on a stadium is something they've never done, and I doubt that this is going to be the opportunity that they're going to be looking for to do that for the very first time.
There's just so few companies that do this nowadays, right, Mick? I mean, you're talking a lot of money. Do you still foresee it being tech? Phone, some type of that company. I mean, even restaurants now seem to be out of it. I know Chick-fil-A have done some things, but you don't see a lot of restaurants or I should say, franchises do this. So if you're a betting guy, where does this land? Some kind of tech company, some kind of phone company that we're used to?
Either that, I'd say the gaming industry, obviously with Vegas.
That's a good one.
serves as a double advertising. Obviously, come to Vegas for this, and say at my hotel casino.
That's really interesting.
I've not heard a lot of
that would be interesting,
excitement from any of the gaming companies to put their name on the stadium. But I think Mick's right. I think that's one of the things that has to be kept into consideration here. But you've got your usual suspects. Your banking institutions, your insurance companies, telecommunications, technology. So all of those are possibilities, and the Raiders are keeping it pretty close to the vest in terms of disclosing who they are talking with.
Do you want to ponder a guess at how much?
At how much? Oh,
30 million a year?
30 million, I would think.
30 million a year.
Yeah.
Now, Caesars, we know, has a deal with them, but that's a smaller type of sponsorship inside the stadium, right? And they're going to have a lot of those.
An entrance.
That can't be the only one.
Well, and you can compare it like to T-Mobile right now. They have the Toshiba Plaza out front.
Okay.
That's branded.
Right.
That same setup could occur at this stadium as well.
A lot of places.
In a lot of different places, and obviously Caesars Entertainment is one of them, and have already offered to put their name on it. It wouldn't surprise me if other gaming companies were to step up to the plate on that. and then have maybe the plaza that's out in front there have a specific name to it. Who knows?
The Rick Vellota Plaza.
I don't think so. I don't
You
have that
actually
kind of money.
want your name on the beer room in the basement. You and I have talked about this.
Exactly.
So they get the green light to get their power from a provider other than NV Energy. And if you don't know much about this, and I'm definitely one of the novices in this, anywhere in Las Vegas with energy, you think NV Energy. It's everywhere. That's all anyone ever talks about. I have many friends who work for NV Energy. So why did this happen? What does this mean for the Raiders? Does it mean less money? Is it for them to go get their energy provided from another? Why didn't they go down the road of NV Energy like I think everyone would have just assumed they would?
Well, they're going to look for a less expensive option, obviously. And since they are under construction and they haven't had a permanent access to electricity yet through them, they'd have to pay that exit fee, which a lot of these hotels they're jumping ship right now have paid, which is like upward of $90 million for MGM. So obviously it's a big money saver, long term and short term, just pulling out with that.
Well, there you have it. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, for all your Stadium and Raiders news, go to ReviewJournal.com daily and check back here at Vegas Nation, where we will continue to bring you stadium shows as the project is built before our very own eyes. For Review Journal reporters Rick Vellota and Mick Akers, along with Cassie Soto, I'm Ed Graney. We thank you for watching.